So here are my predictions for Week 12 of the NFL season. Crazy that we're already in Week 12, man. It went by so fast, but it is what it is. Thursday Night Football, Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Steelers should win this game. I know Russ has kind of been iffy the last little bit, especially last week against the Ravens, but I expect the Steelers to win this game for sure. Also, it's a short week, Thursday Night Football on the road. This game could be a lot closer than expected. The Steelers are minus 195 to win this game. I feel like those odds are pretty good, to be honest. You know, the Browns are 2-8. Steelers are 8-2. Just complete polar opposite seasons. If you're a gambling man, girl, person, whatever, maybe put some bread on the Steelers. But then again, man, it could be a sketchy sort of game. Next up, we got the Bucks at the New York Giants. DeVito back in action. For some reason, I feel like the Giants are going to come out swinging in this game. Will they win it? Not sure about that, but I feel like it'll definitely be competitive. If you're one of those underdog type of guys that likes putting some cash on plus 200, plus 300, those type of dogs, maybe put a little bit of bread on the Giants. I know it's kind of crazy, but I'm telling you, when a backup quarterback comes in, it adds a new spark to the team, and it's a home game. I feel like the fans will be fired up too. And the Bucks, I know the Bucks are a good team right now, but they still are without Chris Godwin, of course, out for the year, and Mike Evans is questionable. The Bucks do have a great ground game, and the Giants don't have a good rushing defense, so that might be the only thing that really separates these two teams, but we'll have to find out. I like the Bucks here in a close competitive game. Now the Lions at the Colts is next. I just got the Lions. The Lions are in a different class right now in the NFL, and I just got the Lions, man. Titans at Houston. Houston, to be honest, took care of the Cowboys on Monday Night Football, but it kind of took them a while to get going for them to really blow out the Cowboys. Texans have kind of had an interesting year so far. They haven't looked as impressive as they did a year ago, but they're still a really, really good team. They just haven't put it all together yet, and I'm sure they will heat up once the playoffs start, but this could be another close game just because it's a rivalry game, and usually those games are sort of sketchy. But I definitely like the Texans here for sure. Next, we have the Patriots at the Dolphins. Dolphins are red hot right now. Patriots almost won last week against the Rams. Drake May looks pretty good, man. I feel like he could be a top quarterback in the future if he gets the right weapons and coaching staff around him. But right now, the Dolphins are on fire, and you kind of got to go with the Dolphins here, and that's who I'm going with. After that, Cowboys at Commanders. Commanders easily next. Vikings at Bears. Now, this game is probably the most interesting one. I feel like the Vikings' record is a bit bloated. They haven't been playing the best ball. You know, they only beat the Titans by, 8 points? They barely beat the Jaguars. The Bears looked pretty good last week. They should have got the dub against the Packers, but they didn't. Blocked field goal at the last second. I like the Bears here, man. Plus 155. So again, if you're into betting on dogs, I'd put some bread there. And I just think two teams kind of going in different directions. I know the Bears lost last week, and I know it's only one game with the Bears' new OC, but Caleb looked good last week, man. It's another home game, and I think they're going to build off of the momentum that they created a week ago. And Sam Darnold, we'll see what happens down the stretch here, man. We'll see. I know he's been a turnover machine the past 5 weeks. We'll see if he could kind of get back to his first 4 weeks form, but I like the Bears here, man. Chiefs, Panthers. I like the Chiefs, but it could be a close game. The spread's minus 11 Chiefs. I feel like the Panthers could potentially cover that, but I like the Chiefs. 4 o'clock window, Broncos, Raiders. Give me the Broncos. They're a minus 240. I really expected that to be minus 300, but hey, I guess Vegas believes in Vegas. Should be a routine win for Denver. I would be really disappointed if they didn't blow out the Raiders. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that could be another sketchy game just because it's the Raiders and the Broncos, and the Raiders have kind of owned the Broncos for a while. I know Denver blew them out earlier in the year, but prior to that, the Raiders won, I believe, like 6 straight against Denver, which is pathetic. But Denver better win that game. 4:25 window, Cardinals, Seahawks. Huge game right here. Battle of the NFC West. Seahawks 5-5, Cardinals 6-4. It's in Seattle. Seahawks are actually the favorite in this game and essentially a pick'em game. You got to go Arizona here, man. It's just the plus money, and Arizona has just been a more complete team thus far in the year. And I just like Kyler to get it done a lot more than Geno Smith. I know last week Geno put the team on his back in a kind of miraculous sort of win, but he had a brutal pick there against the Niners. I feel like the Seahawks got very fortunate a week ago. I like the Cardinals here. Let me know if you agree with me on that one, because that's a good game. Now, America's game of the week, Packers, Niners. Packers minus 140. It's in Lambeau Field. I like the Packers here, man. I know the Packers didn't look impressive at all against the Bears. Matt LaFleur with some questionable play calling of not taking the points when you were in the red zone, when you have, I believe, the 29th worst red zone offense in the league in terms of actually converting into touchdowns. So really, you got to take the points when you can. And who knows, maybe he just was play calling that way because he was playing against the Bears and the rivalry and whatnot, and how they're not having a great season. I'm not sure, but I hope he kind of checks himself a little bit. Now, the Niners, of course, suffered that heartbreaking loss against the Seahawks. To me, eye test-wise, logic test-wise, this team is just not a playoff team, man. I just don't see it. I know they're a playoff bubble team, maybe a 7-seed team, but they're not a legit playoff team. I think the Packers win this game for sure. Sunday Night Football, Eagles, Rams. Give me the Eagles. Straight up. Give me the Eagles. It's in LA. Who knows if the Eagles fans will show up for that game. They probably will. Lots of Eagles fans all over America. And when you barely beat the Patriots, kind of a red flag a little bit. And yeah, I just have the Eagles in this game. Minus 150. Now the Monday Night Football game, the Harbaugh Bowl. Ravens at LA Chargers. Ravens minus 150. This should be a great game, man. To me, honestly, this is like a pick'em game. I'm surprised the Ravens are the favorite here. Ravens are 7-4. Chargers are 7-3. Chargers, of course, got that crazy win against the Bengals Sunday Night Football, and the Ravens just are coming off of that loss against Pittsburgh. I like the Chargers here, man. I just do. I think the Chargers defense will be able to kind of contain Lamar Jackson. I definitely expect a high-scoring game, but I like the home team here, man. And, you know, it was interesting a week ago, too, for the Chargers. There was actual Chargers fans in that Bengals game. So maybe we're starting a new era for the LA Chargers where they actually have a home field advantage when they're playing at home. Kind of crazy stuff, and good for the Chargers, man. Good for Jim Harbaugh. But yeah, I definitely have the Chargers in that game. Should be close. Should be a great Monday Night Football game compared to last week. Cowboys-Texans, just brutal. Brutal stuff. Man, the Cowboys suck. But, yeah, man. Let me know if you agree with my picks. Do you agree with my underdog takes? And do you think there's going to be any crazy upsets this week? Not a bad Week 12 schedule. I feel like a week ago, Week 11 was a great slate of games. Probably the best week we've had so far in the NFL. So, as always, really looking forward to it, and I know you are too. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Take no chances. Keep two hands around it at all times, and don't worry about the extra yard.
Roethlisberger comes out in the pistol.
You fight your guts out, and then you come up short. How in the world do you quarrel with this on the inside?
You know, it's so tough. When you lose a close game, you just sit down and you think about what you did during that contest. Could I have done something differently? We're able to change the